7 principles that work. Now, you've heard so many things. After today, I can bet that you heard everything I'm going to talk about in terms of the theory or in terms of what people have been talking about. What are these 7 principles? You heard all of them. So the only thing I'm going to do is to take our own experience and how it worked for us to succeed. So each one that I will pick up, I will just relate to how that principle worked for us and how we are where we are because of that principle. So this is the company that I'm going to talk about. The company is Bora Capital Advisors. 2013 is when the idea came. December 30th is when we got the incorporation document. So really, we were formed in 2014. NCC approved that in February. We were forced to start. Actually, supposed to start from June 2014. And then MPRA gave us approval to do pension fund management in September 2014. So we are effectively less than 3 years old. And this is what we do. We have 2 sets of businesses: asset management and corporate finance. Asset management, we are like more or less like a small company of data bank trying to manage people's funds. That's what we do. And then advisory is my life. That's what I've been doing. If somebody wants to buy a bank today, he calls me. If you want to buy a bank today. So for instance, when Heritage wanted to set up, it was easier for them to call me. And today Heritage Bank is there. To go to Bank of Ghana, get approval, how do you set up a bank in Ghana? That was business plan, who do you talk to, those things, big things. That's what we did. And Omni Bank the same way. So it was funny helping Omni Bank from Union Savings and Loan to become a bank, and at the same time helping Heritage to come. And I have just bought, in fact my last deal for Fidelity Bank was buying Pro Credit for Fidelity. That was my last job at Fidelity. So this advisory is my life. That's what I do. I can do it in my sleep. But really what moves me, what my passion, the thing I like, is this side of the business. So we started 2014, and when we said we have started, the ship has already set a sail. It's taking off. Anybody who wanted to do pension fund management and started in 2014, the boat was at sea. Data bank, all the big IC Securities, Merchant Bank, all those big guys are doing it. And pension fund management is like creating mini snakes. I don't know if anybody else, you are creating mini snakes. And we all knew that within 5 to 10 years, there will be maybe 10 or 5 giants, and everybody else will be scraping under. You know, the thing is already gone. Because Ghana, if you get the big companies, in fact, all taxes come from how many companies? Less than 100 companies in Ghana. So all the rest is really not much. And that's what we were faced with when we started this in 2009. And we were starting 2014. So guess what we had? Less than 1 million cedis in 2014. And the industry was almost 2 billion. The entire industry had almost 2 billion in pension funds management. And we were starting with what? We ended the year with 1 million. So today we are 150, and we think that we are among the top 10. We were licensed at number 48. An industry that is going to have, 10 giants. You are licensed at number 48. and you want to be there. The top 25 today, each one of them has been around for almost 20 years, if not more than that. And you want to be part of it, you want to be a major player. That was the fact we faced when we started. So, but what helped us, I'm putting this in context, and then you see that the principles that help us to that we can say today we are among the 10, among number 10 or not less than number 12. In fact, when 2015 results came, we were already number 13. And look at the amount that we had jumped from 1 million to 30. We were managing 30 million cities within a year. And that when the results came out, we are already number 13. But of course, the big giants are already gone and you are catching up. So moving from 13 to 10 is a daunting task. Our aim is that we should be confirmed by the regulator that we are among the top 10 by September. And already we think we are there, but it should be confirmed, officially confirmed that we are among the top 10. And that's the context. But it happened in Ghana, 2014, that's when we started. So what will you do? And these are the 7 principles that we use. The first one, boss, can you help me? Okay, first principle is what we call integrity. Your integrity. I wasn't sure whether I should use reliability or integrity, but at the end of the day, we chose integrity. My office boys, and in fact, the whole presentation was done by the guys in my office. So if I don't read, at least you know that somebody else put that one together. I mean, this is what I know. Integrity. Now, how does it help in Ghana? You know, I've given a quotation here. Take your time and read those quotations. I've given you what is supposed to read it, but listen to how integrity helped us make money. And people gave us more funds. This is how it works in Ghana. If people can believe that when you say you solve this, or they believe that when they give you money, you will not run away with the money, they will give you more. If you go out there and say that we will deliver your reports by the 1st, latest the 3rd day, end of the month, don't joke with it. Why? Somebody else is joking with it. And the guy is prepared to move that guy's business to you if you don't joke with it. So we made it our point that as far as we are concerned, we will be the one that will not cheat the customer. Classic example. Most fund managers, you've gone, all of you are middle income, so you put money with a fund manager in Ghana. Majority of you, when you go to your fund manager and you are investing money with them, they will give you a certificate that, oh, you giving us 50 cedis at this rate, and you live with it. Your report will never say where they have invested your money, unless they are buying shares of Ghana treasury bills. Why? Are they not also securities? In fact, the law does not allow most fund managers, any fund manager, to take money from people just like that. But they do it because he's taking your money to say a bank and go and he will get say 26%. If he tells you he will take 1% off, you might squeeze your face. If he tells you he's taking 3% off, you probably take your money home. So he won't tell you, but he will tell you that I can get 24% for you, and you are happy. As soon as you leave, he takes the money, give it to somebody at 28. He's getting 4%. Cool. And any money that you give to a lot of fund managers, that's what you do. One, the law does not allow them. Two, they get more money, and they are squeezing the customers. But guess how that helped us? That's integrity. Every client that we do, we will tell you, a lot of our clients' money goes to Delex. If you get your month-end report, it is there, Delex. And Delex, if you go to Delex, Delex will tell you, we give Bora at 26. Because they know that is what we've told our clients. And Delex does not turn around to give any of our staff 1 CD for giving a rate at 26. If they decide to go down below a rate I don't like, I take the money away. I am straight up with all our clients. Guess what happens? And another fund manager who is doing a pension fund will go to the same bank that we are giving monies to, and because they are doing their things, they are not telling the pension fund trustee that they have their cut or somewhere else. The rate that they will communicate will always be lower than what Bora is quoting for that trustee. So the young guy sitting in the office who doesn't know what is going on, when anytime they get money, guess who they will call? The fund manager who is always giving us what? The best rates. And that's how we move from an unknown quantity to become among the top 10. If we have decided to take maybe 1% of the pensions, people's pensions, and maybe we only have 20. Because there was no competitive edge for anybody to give the money to us. So that is where we said we will level up with everybody, and we will get our small income from becoming big, and it worked. So be reliable. Don't try to make short-term gains. You might not survive. Today, if I go back today, can you go back one slide for me? Back, sorry. Yes. If I go back today, we were licensed at number 48. Today they are 78. But guess what? The top 10% controls as much as 85% of the market. Now let's go to here. Focus on the big picture. I knew what I was doing and that I was prepared to do the sacrifice. Focus on the big picture. We wanted to build the largest asset, our top 10 million. When I was leaving Fidelity 2014, my basic salary was 11,000. For 11,000, that's basic. Add on all the other things. Guess what I got at Bora when I went? First 2 months of 2014, 2,000. In fact, we had some filings that said only 500 Ghana. That was my salary. I had to pack my X5 or whatever was there. But I was willing. You see, the boat has already left. I wasn't going to listen to my wife saying that there's no basket or things in the house. And I closed my mind. I wanted to be on that boat. You had to swim to survive. So we know this business is going to break even 3 to 5 years. Today, if I sell that business, I will get all the salaries I lost, plus more. But when you are prepared to focus on what you want to achieve, the discomfort and lost income is nothing. You will get it back. That is important. Focus on what you want to do. You will get it back. Here, talent. No family thing. The guy, pick the people who knows how to do. There are three people in my family who haven't got jobs. But we went to Legon and said, give us your best people, smart guys. We talked to the professor. Give us the smartest guys that you know. And then so this guy is pretty smart. This guy is pretty smart. Then we got 6, and selected one. And guess what? It's not the guy who with the best GPA, but you look at the guy who, when he gets A minus in or a B in a subject, paper 1, paper 2 of that paper, he comes and get A plus. He wants to prove something to even the professor who taught him, who gave him a bad grade, that he's better. You see that person is driven. So you don't necessarily have to buy big people. You are starting small. Look for fresh graduates. National Service pays less than 500 cedis. Pay the guy 500 and let him work for you. Pick young talent, extremely smart. Forget that the guy in your house who hasn't got a job. Get your business running. When you can set up branches in other places, send him there. But when you start, get the best talent. Don't compromise that. I have to run. Go to slide 4. Okay. Yeah, the next one says the customer. Like I said, we focus so much on our customers. It's not even funny. Everybody in my office knows that end of the month, you got to prepare. If you are going on leave 28th, 29th, you have to be back in the office. We promise our customers you will be the best and the first to submit reports. Don't sit at home and say that I have whatever you want to do, you do it. But when we need to report back to the customer, you will report back to the customer. When you are supposed to be at the function, don't be late. For instance, I was here 1 o'clock. I was supposed to start at 1:15. Then they said, okay, go back 1 hour. I came back after 48 minutes. I don't, because you don't know what the person is using to mark you before he gives you your next job. And this could be your interview for the best job of your life. And that's what you're doing with it. So please, if you are starting up, your customer should be there. I like this particular quote by the head of British Airways. And anybody who has been on a British Airways knows the difference between British Airways and other airlines. And said, we don't expect to be perfect. Okay? But when there's a problem, fix it. You see these US airlines that they drag people out and fix it without fuss. If we need to get up with people. Anyway, here, I'm almost done. Your business plan. I have only one advice. Review it constantly, and stop this business of letting people write your business plans for you. The idea to make money is coming from somebody's hand. You don't know. Work on it. That is when you fine-tune the problems. You can get rid of 80% of your problems if you run and prepare your own business plan. I write my business plan myself. I do it for people. I will do it for you to get a banking license, to do whatever, to buy a bank. And guess what? One of the things that a mentor told me that I took like he said, Ghana is tough. My mentor told, he's not really my mentor, but he's not my mentor, but somebody, Joe Jackson's boss at Delis. He told me, Ghana is tough. So keep your overheads down. Keep your overhead down. After that, the X5 got packed. I used my wife's Sonata. I can buy X5. In fact, I have one at home. But anyway, last one and then we are done. Please help me. Okay. Networking. Bill Gates said that if he ever wants to start a game, the only thing he will do is specialize in networking. Bill Gates. If you wanted to start life again, he will specialize in what? networking. You are focusing on IT and you are leaving networking. Good luck to you. All right. I think let me give you the example that we had. There was this girl who I networked and said, "Look, you've left me. I've started and you've left me. Why?" She came to my office to visit. This is a classic example. She came to my office, sat down. I said, "Let me buy lunch for you." She said, "Oh, I was going for lunch." I said, "I'll buy the lunch for you. Let's talk." Guess what? By the time she left, he had called 3 corporate trustees that they should give me business. Within 3 months, one of them has given us a client, signed, and we started operating. So the people that you know, call them to your business and tell them, don't be scared that somebody will steal your ideas. The ideas make rich. The pastor said, God has already put it in your DNA. Just enhance it, let it come out. You will be fine. Thank you very much.